The following program is sponsored by Tropical Acres Steakhouse.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo, and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome bay, with shafafa on the side.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Just a slightly delayed start today, but we are at Wicked Cheesesteaks, Pizza, Lobster Rolls, and now also known as Brian's Boston Beef, because he's doing these North Shore roast beef sandwiches, which have become a big thing. We are happy to be joined today by Ken, the professor
Ken,
in the absence of our absent friend, Jeff Defo the Forest. I don't know if anybody's heard from him, but again,
It's Defo in Vegas.
he's in Vegas. And
I can tell you, the last time I was there for him, Lubie and I literally had to drag him out
to his wedding.
out of the race book to his wedding. And
Yes.
we were like 45 minutes
He was
late.
late to his own wedding.
And all the women were like, "Will you two please go get him?" It's like, what the hell am I supposed to do?
it somehow doesn't surprise me that he's late to his own wedding, but I don't think he's going to be late to his own funeral, although some people were wondering that when the box closed, I don't hate to be macabre, but they were saying that Defo, he's talked so much through his life on AM radio that they think that he'll still be talking into the afterlife, like as they slam the lid shut.
I mean, honestly, Deef is an on the air, off the air, can be a very different dude. He doesn't talk like that off the air.
No, it's kind of like the difference. Neil Rogers on air was just a complete, obviously maniacal person who would go on rants and go off on people, and then in person, the nicest guy, most mild-mannered guy in the world. All right, Lubie, I'm having a little trouble here loading up and finding the thing to load onto the group. I'm getting watch live video, but not the actual.
It's there.
So, here it is, finally. Okay,
Yeah, it's
sometimes
there,
it gets,
it's
when you do the preview box, sometimes nobody cares about this. All right,
No.
how are you today?
I am doing well. I'm happy to be back here at Wicked Cheesesteaks. It's hasn't been that long, and I'm happy about that. We went like a nice stretch without going, so we've been here a couple times in the last few weeks. Always a great time here at Wicked Cheesesteaks. I love that the Boston beef sandwich. I literally saw an influencer do it, and it blew up and went viral. So I like that Brian's
What
name
is
getting
a
it.
Boston beef sandwich for the audience?
It feels like an elevated Arby's sandwich is what I'm getting
Oh, God,
from the
God.
sandwich.
No, first of all,
let's not
I'm
use
not
that.
trying to gross you out.
Let's not use that word
It's
to
just-
describe.
that's
It's not grossing me out. I feel like you're insulting the people at Wicked to put
I'm not
that
trying
word
to.
out there.
Brian's roast beef sandwich is 100 times better than
it's nothing
Arby's
like
roast beef
in
sandwich.
taste, but what it is.
Eating out of the dumpster behind
No.
Arby's is 10 times better than eating at Arby's. So
All right, let's set the stage. It is Wicked Cheesesteaks, also known as Brian's Boston Beef. My apologies, Ken. I know how much you love the city and people of Boston, and
I
Brian
mean,
is
honestly, all their teams are garbage now, so I don't really feel the same viciousness towards them.
okay.
I mean, that was a
They had a
2000
nice
to
run,
like
yeah.
2020
Yes.
when their teams
And
were
we've got
dominating all sports, but all their
Belichick.
teams are trash.
Belichick has now been exiled to North
Yeah, there's no more
Carolina. We've got
Belichick.
Tom Brady exiled to the broadcast booth at Fox.
For now,
And okay, we've got, so Boston things are on the agenda today. Although it's funny, we're starting with some New York pizza slices. He does pizza by the slice and pie here. And don't sleep on it, because
It's really good.
I really like his pizza. It's a little bit thicker and chewier maybe than your some of the other thin, crispy New York style pies and
But it
slices.
leans New York style, which again, there's a lot out there, and you've opened my eyes to all the pizzas in the world, and I appreciate them. But my go-to is still New York. That's just what I grew up with.
He uses the good quality grande cheese. He has a very nice sauce, and as Defo would say, he loves it when you get that little slick, oil pool river running down, a rivulet of oil running down, so that if you kind of fold it over, it could start dribbling down your chin when you eat it.
The best pizza shows up on your shirt.
I used to dab that oil, so you're talking to the wrong guy.
Or your chin. we are at
I like the sauce too. It's not too sweet, which a lot
Exactly.
of
I hate
people.
the sweet
I
stuff.
hate when people over sugar the
I
sauce.
do not like sugar in my tomato sauce. I like a tangy sauce, and he's got the tangy, savory sauce here. So again, don't sleep on the pizza because you'll get grease stains on your pajamas.
Exactly.
And
There you go.
4824 North Federal Highway, right here across from Holy Cross Hospital, just south of Commercial Boulevard. If you haven't been here, come on in because he's got a great varied menu now.
Yep.
And we will. Oh, it's good to see a couple friends and people who are on the Let's Eat group. Manny Delgado, who's been a long time Let's Eat member.
Yeah, he's great.
He was among the first wave. He's in the business too, and he loves to get around and go to different restaurants. He's chowing down on one of those Boston sandwiches. And 210,000 people in the Let's Eat South Florida group.
Wow.
Do you ever hang out on there, Ken?
I
No,
don't.
Ken's
I'm
on Facebook. That's
I'm
the
not a
one social media
Facebook
he never
guy.
really did.
I don't want to be influenced how to vote by Mark Zuckerberg and Russian bots, so I don't go on.
pick your poison. Is it going to be Elon Musk and the Nazis or Mark
Yeah.
Zuckerberg and the bots?
Lubie can tell you why Twitter timeline is all Nazis and OnlyFans chicks. That's the only people. I don't know what the Twitter algorithm thinks I am, but
They know
clearly
exactly who
they
you
know.
are.
No, honestly, you'd think it would be like all gambling and college football,
Right.
and it's OnlyFans chicks and Nazis.
They're
Like,
trying to convert you, I guess.
There you go.
So anyway, getting into our Boston discussion. So Boston beef sandwiches have become a big thing, and I went to school up there at Tufts. And back in the day, not just on the North Shore, but actually downtown Boston, there was a place called Buzzy's Roast Beef, and then there was Kelly's Roast Beef, which is up in Revere Beach, which was where Suffolk Downs used to be. But there's a Kelly's right there on the beach in Revere, as they said. And the Boston roast beef sandwich was a very big summertime indulgence. And also people would get their clam, rolls and, shrimp rolls, lobster rolls, those kinds of things. But roast beef up there, you would get basically shaved thin, rare roast beef on a bun. And all of a sudden it became
But
a
it's
thing.
hot. It's hot.
It's a hot roast beef sandwich. Now, I think this is a more recent thing that they put barbecue sauce and mayonnaise, and is it also cheese on it?
Yeah,
or-
he does like the white Cooper White.
Yeah,
Is what he does.
Oh, everybody's into that Cooper White all of a sudden.
Well, that's here for the
blown up.
cheesesteaks too. I like
Oh.
it. I like.
It's
I like
nice
the
on a
Cooper.
cheesesteak.
Again, I'm not arguing with
Yeah.
it. It's just it has become a huge trend
Yeah.
in cheesesteaks in particular, but food in general.
Yeah, it's become like a thing.
So, so it's cheese, barbecue sauce, and mayonnaise,
Mhm.
and basically, there's a couple other roast beef joints around that didn't make it, and they've shuttered up. And then Brian saw the opportunity to kind of like fill that gap because I do like roast beef sandwiches, not the cold cut ones, but the hot ones.
Yeah.
And in Brooklyn, the style was just the rare roast beef piled high on a bun, and then you dunk it in the big vat of the au jus. He also offers it with au jus here. He doesn't do the full dipping.
Yeah.
But the Boston beef, I guess, like you said, influencers and TikTokers are raving about the North Shore
Yes.
roast beef sandwich with the cheese, the mayonnaise,
mayonnaise,
and
the
the
guy-
barbecue
I
sauce.
feel like a little horseradish might be called for on
Yeah,
that.
well,
You
I'm a
would think.
guy I'm a big fan of the buffalo style, which is the beef on weck, which is a hot roast beef on a camel weck bun, and that's the bun that has the
seeds,
caraway
right?
seeds and the big sea salt on top, and then you have roast beef with the horseradish. So
A little bit of food trivia here.
Yep.
The original Buffalo Wild Wings, when it was BW3, the third W was Weck.
Okay, is that why we call it
Yes.
BW and BW3? Because I always called it BW3.
Originally, the franchise.
I never understood why.
Originally, the roast beef on Weck sandwiches were as big a part of the business as the chicken wings.
Oh, wow, okay.
Mm. Now-
Actually, explains a lot.
Now I see that he's got the Boston three ways in various sizes now,
Yeah, good.
affordably priced. There's a $12 one, and there's also if you get more beef on it, and again, beef is expensive these
Yep,
days.
yep.
So the varying levels. And
Boy,
he's
is
got-
it?
And then this is the one for you. He's got something called the Brian roast beef. That's 6 ounces of roast beef on a toasted onion bun with horseradish on the side and au jus. So I
Yeah,
think
that
that's
sounds
you.
the way I'd go.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
And then he's got a wicked French dip. That's new since we've last been here on garlic bread with the au jus on the side.
Nice.
Can't go wrong with a French dip.
I like the way he's
Yeah,
branching
yeah,
out
next
with
time.
his beef. Brian's beef is branching out.
Mhm.
So the other Boston discussion, and this was on the Let's Eat group this morning, and this is part of my love-hate relationship with the group, Ken.
Okay.
Sometimes I look at people's posts and I say, do they realize how flayed they're about to get? Like that people come on there.
They do. They
Huffy.
know what they're doing.
You know, I don't know. This guy
It's
went
called
on there.
trolling. It's been a thing.
Yes,
on
I was
the
gonna
internet
say-
for a
No.
while.
This is not a troll. These people who come on there and they think, I don't know if they're looking for sympathy, backing, like, oh, yeah, you're right. So this guy, he starts off by saying, I've been going to Kelly's Landing in Fort Lauderdale for, whatever, over 20, 30 years. The place has been around since the early 90s, I think. And again, it's an offshoot of a New England style seafood restaurant that started on the South Shore of Massachusetts. It's not related to Kelly's roast beef, but there's a Kelly's Landing somewhere near Cape Cod.
Isn't there one up in the
We have
Jupiter
one here.
area?
Don't we have
I
Kelly's Landing
remember
here.
That's what I'm talking about. The Kelly's Landing.
he's talking about the one here, but I think there
Fort
was or
Lauderdale.
is one up in the Jupiter area.
No, I
seem
don't
to
think. I
remember
think
that.
that's the one and only is Kelly's Landing, but it's an offshoot of one that's
Maybe
from the
something with
South
a
Shore.
similar name then.
And they have some classic New England seafood stuff like the belly clams. Like they also have steamers, which is the steamed Ipswich clams, which is the big ones with the bellies.
Mhm.
They have
Isn't
the
their
fried.
lobster roll the thing people talk about a lot?
They have two styles of lobster rolls, just like they have lobster rolls here. But they also have like the fried scallops, fried clams with the bellies, fried clam strips, the little ones without the big bellies, like you used to get at Howard Johnson's.
Yeah.
They have great chowder. They have all kinds of things.
Okay.
But this guy said, I've been going there forever and I like it, but I recently did an order, and he was bitching about that the onion rings. He thinks they changed the batter.
Oh.
He goes, I'm from Boston, and they used to have the best Boston bread batter on the onion rings, and they've changed the onion ring batter. And also, it was a takeout order, and every item itemized had an extra charge for takeout, and blah blah
That's
blah.
Definitely not
And
what happened.
and so I
I don't know Kelly's so well. But that sounds
and he
like-
says, but the clams were good, and like the guy's never gone on to a group to sing the praises of a place, but one time he's pissed because they has an extra 50 cents, and this is true because I know I ordered a lobster roll before one of the shows the other week, and I picked it up, and yeah, they add for every takeout item 50 cents because
Oh,
there's
really?
packaging involved. So instead of $25 for a lobster
Which
roll,
is
it's
unfortunate with food
$25.50.
costs just where we've gotten
Yeah,
in the
that's-
business.
That's not
Right.
bad.
But he's like saying, why is every item an extra 50 cents? If I'm not eating in there, there's no plates and dishwashing involved, and it's less labor and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like saying, you know what? If 50 cents is going to dissuade you from ordering
don't
something
eat it.
you like, then don't go there.
Yeah,
It's
don't eat
their
it.
house, their rules, that's their policy. But I was most intrigued about the whole concept of Boston breading.
Yeah, what does
Yeah,
that
I
mean?
never heard of
batter.
it until you mentioned it before the show.
What does that mean?
I looked it up. Google seems to think it's like a brown bread based batter. I don't know.
But what makes that Boston?
All I know is
Boston
this.
brown bread is a thing.
Okay.
It's-
He says it's not as crunchy and as flavorful as it used to be, and they used to have the greatest onion rings, and now they were just meh. And I'm just saying to myself, if you're ordering onion rings takeout, that is the problem
That's
to
on
begin
you.
with.
Yeah, that's on you.
Because if you're not, onion rings and French fries need to be consumed like
Oh, yeah.
immediately upon it's.
Look,
when
you can
you
take
get
them
it.
out and it's fine, but you then have to now lower your expectations instantly. Like whatever you're getting, that's
well,
what you're getting.
look,
like,
we're doing it right now.
pizza takeout.
Pizza is great as a delivery food, but it's better when you get it hot and fresh out of the oven in
Bingo.
the restaurant. It's always going to be, 10-15% better that way. You
Yep.
just have to lower, if you want the convenience of takeout, if you want the convenience of eating at home, you have to lower your expectation on what the dish is necessarily going to be.
See, that's the thing. We learned that, I don't know, everyone learned, but in school or in life, there's risk reward with everything in life, and that's the thing that people forget is convenience is fine, but it doesn't mean that there's not going to be negatives attached to that convenience, and that's what, like
No,
people
it's a
get weird
trade-off.
about that trade-off. That's word. Good. I was looking for trade-off.
And I mean, it's the same as, okay, I'm going to be upset about the 50 cents or whatever. It was 50 cents,
Yeah,
but you're also not going to have to tip in that case. So,
Bingo.
Or not tip
Or
as
tip
much
different.
or not
because
tip as much. Yes.
I don't know
Throw a
what
couple
your
bucks, $5
standard
instead of
rule
20 to
is.
30%.
but it's basically industry standard. They say if you're doing takeout, obviously there's still some work involved. They have to bag the items together and all that stuff. But instead of a 20 or 25% tip, which is now kind of the normal range, you do 10 to 15% for a takeout. If I get a $50 takeout order, I'll throw them a $5 bill, or
I think 10%.
Or if it's 53, I'll give them 60.
$2,
yeah, and but again, it's like you said, everything is a trade-off,
and that's okay.
But it always
well, no, you also
accept that.
look. You just also have to understand the realities of the business.
There it is
at this point in 2025, which is you all know it as consumers because every time you go to Publix, you're paying double what you used to pay 5 years ago.
Exactly.
Whatever grocery, whatever food, those costs are increasing for restaurants too, and they can't put them automatically into the price of the items because people will balk. If you have a dish that your cost used to be $3 and now your cost is $6 as a restaurant. Well, if you used to sell it for 12, you can't start selling it for 24.
No.
So the margins are shrinking. So you have to do things like, the one I've seen, which I think when it becomes more popular is going to be a huge fight within the business, is these new credit card sliders where they transfer the credit card fee away from the restaurant and to the customer.
Oh, geez.
And as that gets to be a bigger and bigger thing, I feel like people are going to lose their blanking minds.
Oh, they've already been blanking because a lot of places do add a surcharge for the credit cards.
They do. They already do add a surcharge.
But I feel like as that becomes more widespread, but you have to understand that's a cost that the restaurant has absorbed
for
into their margins
time.
For years and years and years.
But as their margins have shrunk.
But their margins are getting smaller. And yes, it stinks that prices are going up and margins are getting smaller, but that's just the reality of look, again, to go back by the pizza, and I'm not going to name the place, but the pizza closest to me that I like has gone from like $20 to $32 over the last for my standard pizza, which is sausage and onions, has gone from like 20 or 22 bucks to $32 now. And I'm like, and I can say it myself. There was something that buzzed in my mind the first time I saw the bill, because like for some reason 30 was the magic number. And the minute it went over 30, I was like, what? For a pizza?
Yep.
Yeah. But
then that's your choice that you have to make going forward.
Yeah. Again, as a consumer, you have to understand that all the consumer aspects that are affecting you at Publix are affecting the restaurant business too. And again, you can't, as a restaurant, do it in proportion. I mean, you can raise prices a little bit and your consumers will accept it. But again, like I said, if it used to be a $3 meal, it's a $6. You can't double the price.
And for those who don't know, Ken here, besides being a master handicapper and comedian extraordinaire, also used to be involved in the business as a restaurant owner.
Yes.
A place up in Pompano Beach that he's no longer involved with, but
as of this year.
So he brings he does bring an insider's perspective to the game.
Owner for a long time, very hands-on.
So anyway, this the post again, it's gotten 20,000 reach and 180 comments, and this guy is what's known on the internet world of is getting dragged hard.
Well, look, I mean, as far as the onion ring things, sometimes places do change their recipe. Sometimes it's an economic reason. Sometimes it's just the chef wanted to go a different direction. And there's nothing wrong.
I don't know.
With saying to the people,
I don't know if
I don't like the change.
You're allowed to bitch about it.
I love Kelly's Landing. I know they do a lot of good fried seafood, and I imagine they, prep it themselves and batter it and fry it themselves. I don't know about the onion rings. Maybe as a cost-cutting measure, they went to a commercialized product.
100%.
Maybe they started getting a frozen onion ring instead of doing it themselves because it's labor costs and other costs.
And again, you're allowed to recognize it. There's nothing wrong with that. We are all the time bring up, okay, this could be this way or that could be that way, and that's fine. It's when the whole post for a place that you like, you've gone for years, you love it for years, but now the onion rings are weird, never going again. It's like that's
30 years
strange.
loving
like,
it, still likes the clams, doesn't like the takeout
if you only
fee.
went there for the onion ring specifically, that's fine.
Yeah.
I say honestly, good luck to you finding elite onion rings somewhere else.
But I love the verbiage when people get all huffy and telling restaurants what to do and how to run their business. I'm sorry, Kelly's, but whatever you're doing, stop it. Quality and consistency have been your hallmark. Now that's thrown in the bay with the tea. And somebody made a remark that it actually wasn't the bay that the Tea Party was in, but Boston Harbor.
I also just feel like, the way
There's an ocean.
schools
on the
teach
other side.
history these days, you may be shooting that
Yeah,
reference
yeah.
way over a bunch of people's heads.
Exactly.
So anyway, I love harping on the negative posts.
Well, it's just interesting because of I'm like, okay, we already did that show, fine, we won't have to do that again. But then they find a new lane where it's like, look, if a place is a place you've loved for years, why does one item one time change what you've done for years? Again, like that's
That's
something
an
that's hard
interesting-
for me to understand. Again, that one time it being off, I will turn to Shirley and go, oh, the onion rings are weird this time.
Well,
I'm not going to go online and blast them.
but you also have to understand
wait, let me do the timeout. Okay. But
the level of
Go ahead.
passion about one particular item on a
Yes.
menu that
I know.
you have.
Yeah.
Okay, and I can tell you, I went through this with my place with the freaking lobster ravioli, and I will tell you, I ate it once to sample in the beginning. I never ate it again because it's just not a dish I like. But people loved it. We changed purveyors at one point. We changed the product, and everybody lost their mind about it. And I was like, I'm gonna be honest with you, it tastes the same to
not
me.
different.
Like, I don't know.
it's an interesting phenomenon, like you say, where somebody loves a place and they've never written a positive love letter to the place, but then the one time, and I think what it is, it's a sense of the betrayal.
Yes.
You're in a long-term relationship, and like if you're married, and all of a sudden you find out your wife is fooling around, there's a betrayal there.
That can, yes.
And I think maybe it triggers a much stronger reaction.
That's what Ken's saying. That's what Ken's saying.
Yeah,
It has a different. Okay, I'll give you a great example. It's very popular online. McDonald's and the
The snack wrap.
blanking.
I never
no,
saw.
not the snack wrap. The ice cream machines.
Oh yeah, people
I
always bitch
see
about
all these 50-year-old people out there. Be like, I was at McDonald's in the ice cream machine. I couldn't get my hot fudge. You're an adult. Like,
it. Why would you
if
go to
you're an adult and you're that
McDonald's?
fired up about
Right.
you need to go to a good ice cream
And
shop
if you want-
or examine your life, because honestly, of all the ice cream sundaes in the world, that's probably the least
Yeah.
healthy option
That's the
humanly possible.
It's the suckiest one.
Like,
I mean, it's one thing if it's midnight and you just got busted out in a poker tournament and you're driving through and you don't feel like a Big Mac and you want a McFlurry
Yes.
and the machine doesn't
It's
work.
always
fine.
broken,
okay,
though.
it
That's the
might
thing.
piss you off, but yeah, we live in a world where there's Carvel and there's Witt's frozen custard, and then
Yes,
God forbid there's
exactly.
also Dairy Queen. So
and you're not 7 years old. Like you have an automobile. You
yeah,
have
you can go.
you have the financial wherewithal to stand the extra
Right.
29 cents that
Right.
Carvel charges.
I like Carvel.
But every time you go online, there's somebody in a food thing like, McDonald's ice cream machines. It's because of this company McDonald's uses, blah, 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 blah. I've seen people go for like 40-minute rants on videos about the goddamn McDonald's ice
I
cream
think Lubie did one of them on
No,
TikTok. One of
I
those
ran,
things.
but that's one thing I don't.
So, all right, but getting back to the sense of betrayal, and the other thing which I always talk about here is like before going on to a group with 200,000 people or going on Yelp or whatever, like how about like calling the place or going to the manager and just saying,
There you
"Hey, I've been coming here forever. I loved your onion rings, but this time it didn't taste so good. Did you do is something different? Did you change recipes or change
Exactly.
the
And
products?"
by the way, people will be responsive to that. If they have changed the product and people aren't liking it, they will change back.
Yeah, yeah.
or
I mean,
they'll
we
take
want
a
to
note of
please our
it.
customers.
Or they'll tell you, no, you're actually high on crack. We haven't changed the thing.
It's the same batter as before. And
Or
You're an
they'll
idiot
say,
now,
yeah,
yeah.
you know what? You're right. You noticed it. What do you think? Oh, and if I hear a lot of it,
Yeah,
if
that-
I'm a
yeah.
good operator, I'm going to go back to the way it was.
exactly.
And the whole point is you got to communicate
Yeah.
with the restaurant first. And then, and I've made this
We do
point
this
how
all the
many
time.
times?
I know we do this all the time.
But I'm never assuming that people have seen us before
No, they may never
or
watch
will
the
ever
show.
watch again.
Yeah.
But the fact is communication. And then if the restaurateur says, yeah, we changed it because we had high costs and sorry you don't like it, go jump in
then yeah,
Boston Harbor.
that's where you say.
Then you can go online and say, I can't believe it. They changed it. It's crappier. I registered my concerns and they told me to go
Or
jump
maybe
in
they
Boston
changed
Harbor.
it and everybody except you liked it
Yes.
better.
Yeah.
And you just have to accept that your taste on this particular one
different.
is different than everybody else's.
Yep.
Nice. All right. Well, that concludes our
Well, we'll see what
negativity for the day. We got a lot of positive
By the way,
things
can
to
I
talk-
say the rareness level on that roast beef
Look
sandwich?
how
looks
rare it is.
just perfect.
Well, I want to cut it,
That-
but
that
Mayo
is
wants to do a big
ideal.
bite. So
No, I'm going to cut it.
No,
'cause
no,
then
no,
I'll-
I'm not begging
I
for a
wanna eat
bite.
it.
I'm just
I
Oh,
saying,
no. I want you guys to
am. I
look
really
at
got
this
cheese
thing.
visually that thing it looks great.
Last time
This
him
is-
and Depot like shared it, and I had like a little bite of it.
Look,
I want to
it
try
is
this freaking
just
sandwich.
pink and beautiful.
It's like
and
No,
really pink
I
and
know
red.
people who like with roast beef or with a prime rib. I don't know why it's always so because it's supposed
It
to
has
be rare.
Oh no, it has to be.
again, that in its most virtuous state, it should be rare
no,
and good quality
roast
and
beef?
not
Exactly.
gristly. And this is exactly what it's supposed to look like. So all praise to Brian here at
I'm
Wicked
just saying. I know
Cheesesteaks.
some people, mostly women, are going to be like, "Oh, that's raw.
Well,
I wouldn't
Yeah.
eat that." Okay, then don't eat it. It's not for you.
It's not for you.
find a new woman.
This is beautiful.
I need somebody that, like me, loves their beef bloody.
Exactly.
And this is the proper way. And nothing gets me gets my goat more than people who order prime rib,
Oh Jesus.
medium well. And then then they complain
They're
about that
mad.
it's dry. And it's
Is
the
it
same
worse
thing with roast beef.
steaks,
The
or
roast,
is it worse with prime ribs?
it's both
Prime rib bothers me more because you can get away with it with
See, I
steak. but
feel
prime
the other.
rib,
I think I go the other way. It's the people. And my grandmother was a classic, well done.
My
Wanted
grandma
her
too.
steak to look like roof
Yeah.
shingles. Steak eater. But when people do that to a good steak, I want to reach
No,
across the
it's
table
like
and
you're-
smack 'em.
why the cow already sacrificed his life. Why murder him
Exactly.
twice? That's it. All right, let's take our first break, and then
Let's
I'm
do
going to
it.
dive into this beauty, the Boston beef here at Wicked. Before we take our break, I got to remind people there are just literally a handful. I think last count was 5 tickets
Oh, nice.
remaining for this Saturday. It's just 2 days away. The Pearl Jammin' by the Sea. I've changed the name
Yeah,
so
just
that
call
we're
it
not
that. That's
gonna
fine,
not
yeah.
gonna
No
get
one
any
gives a crap.
cease
I'm
and
pretty
desist
sure if
letters.
Pearl Jam knew about it, you would have already been sued.
Right.
Heard
So
it.
you might as
Well,
well.
we're
just go.
almost there. We're calling it Pearl Jam by the Sea. It's going to be this Saturday. The VIP tickets are all sold out. We have 5 general admission tickets remaining, and the general admission portion goes from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. And it's going to be all you can eat Malpec oysters from Prince Edward Island. It's going to be all you care to drink sparkling wine and bubbly with a Bellini bar, all kinds of different mixers. It's also going to be a
Hold on,
paella.
just so people like me who are not champagne, Bellini's the peached one, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
but the Bellini bar.
It's going to be different kinds
Different
of
mixers. There's going to be a
fresh
peach
juices.
mixer. There's going to
I
be a
got that,
basic
but when you-
orange juice.
There's
Yeah.
some drinks that everybody, if you say margarita, everybody knows lime juice. But if you say Paloma, not everybody knows grapefruit juice.
Okay. Well, there's going to be various mixers
Yeah, it won't
and
just be
juices
peach. It'll be
to
other kinds.
blend with your bubbly, and then oysters, bubbly, paella this year.
Yep.
And that paella is going to have a full mix of seafood along with chorizo and chicken. And then we're also going to have as a supplement some additional specialty cocktails along with specialty caviar from Uruguay. And there's going to be caviar bumps and also caviar tins available. That's going to be a
everything.
supplement.
It's like
But
a-
again, the
I'm never getting over the caviar bump thing.
snorted it.
South Florida, like that is evocative of a totally different
Yeah.
thing that you would not want to do.
100%.
When we were at Ukiah yesterday,
someone just-
Lizzie was saying she was at an event in Miami where she saw somebody actually snort
they
the
snorted
caviar,
the caviar.
It's
And-
Miami. Do your bump.
and it did not work out well
You
for
tell,
the snorter.
you tell people of a certain age demographic group, bump,
Yeah.
and you're in the city of Miami. I'm pretty
I
sure
might
there's
try to snort it
stuff in
on
anything.
Saturday after depending on how many bellinis
Well,
I
it
have.
could be horseradish. You'd be like, we're
Well,
doing horseradish
that's
bumps.
exactly what I said to Lizzie yesterday. I said it could have been worse. They could have been snorting the wasabi.
There you
So
go.
that's it. All right, that is going to be Saturday. Go online to Eventbrite. Again, it's oysterpearljam.eventbrite.com and use the promo code Lunchbox if you want to snag an extra $10 off the already low price. It'll make it a $65 GA ticket with the fees. It's going to be about $75, but still a pretty good deal for all you can eat oysters, all you can drink bubbly, and all you can eat paella for $75 for 2 hours.
Can't beat that with a steak.
Again, and it's going to be a lot of fun, along with a band with live music that will be playing some Pearl Jam tunes.
and other
So-
That's a line I probably would not cross. The
Oh.
rest of it, I think you're good. If you got some
You're not
cover
a Pearl
band
Jam
out there.
fan?
No, I love Pearl Jam.
No,
but I
he's
feel like
saying that's where you're
I feel like
starting
again,
to,
Eddie Vedder's going to come in with baseball.
You know, bands are
Break the
allowed to
place
play
up.
cover songs.
Screaming at you in unintelligible words. Copyright.
We're going to have a very even flow at even keel.
There
That's
you
the
go.
way it's going
See
to be.
there,
There
oh
you go.
jeez.
right.
Is Jeremy going to be
Now
there?
you're pushing
Jeremy might be there. My daughter
He
might
might
be there.
speak in class today.
Yes. All right. Let us, before we get all these tortured song references done, let's take our first of 3 breaks on today's Lunchbox from Wicked Cheesesteaks and Brian's Boston Beef after these words.
Hey Lunchbox fans, is it time to sell your business? You've poured your heart and soul into your restaurant or business, and you want to see continue the legacy you have built. Transworld can help. Call me, Andy Cagnetta, at Transworld Business Advisors right now and see if it's time for you to retire and relax. Iconic brands like the Mai Kai, Mulligans, Carlos and Pepe's, Mangoes, and many more turn to Transworld to help sell. Contact Transworld on Facebook or call 954-772-1122 or visit tworld.com. Again, that's 954-772-1122 or tworld.com.
When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks. They're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Guess who's back and better than ever? Juan's. For the best in classic old school Chinese cuisine, a family-run South Florida favorite since 1966. It's at 664 North Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale, open every day but Tuesday for lunch and dinner. Chef Alex is carrying on the family tradition that started 4 generations ago. It used to be known as Christina Juan's Mandarin House, and you're going to love it as Juan's. They've got all your favorites: wonton soup, spare ribs, egg rolls, dumplings, Peking duck, and more. Combo lunch specials daily and takeout and delivery. For more information, go to their Instagram page at wans.fl. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. A tradition for South Florida sports fans for more than 30 years, Shenanigans. It's at 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach, the place to go for all your favorite teams and events and food that's not your ordinary sports bar fare. Award-winning wings, burgers, fresh fish, and more, TV screens galore, and all-day happy hour specials. The kitchen and bar are open into the wee hours, perfect for late-night bites and very close to the airport. For playoff action, football season, and a good time anytime, Shenanigans. Great seafood and more at Mignonette, Miami. It's in the Edgewater neighborhood at 210 Northeast 18th Street, close to the Arch Center and Heat Arena. Mignonette is open every day for dinner, and it serves the freshest fish and raw bar items with a daily selection of the finest oysters around. Chef owner Danny Surfer and his team are eager to please, and now they have a great deal for Miami Spice through September 30th. $60 gets you a build-it-yourself 3-course meal. Choose almost any appetizer and entree and any dessert. That's every day, including weekends. Mignonette is Michelin Guide recommended and Lunchbox approved. For reservations and information, go to mignonnettemiami.com. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox at Wicked Cheesesteaks, a.k.a. Brian's Boston Beef, and you sampled a little bit of the beef.
Very well cooked and perfectly for
Perfectly
me, rare, which probably means drastically undercooked for most of you.
And we just
I thought really very nice.
Split it in half. We gave Lubie
And honestly,
his half.
Brian should feel free to come over and punch Lubie in the face for
Putting cheese whiz on it.
for throwing out the A word with.
Oh, I was just
comparison
talking about
point.
what it makes me think of.
That
Like,
is an
this
insult.
This would be an elevated
It's
version.
about as worse an insult in food as you can
Well,
possibly.
because he did
do.
it once with the fish sandwich. We made fun of him because
That was
their
at
fish
Gilbert's
sandwich was
with their-
nothing like
It was like a fillet of
McDonald's,
fish sandwich
but it
because it
was
was
like
a fried square
similar
fish.
vein.
But again,
yes.
much better.
I'm not sure, honestly, I can ever remember eating a fillet of fish, so I
I've
wouldn't
eaten
even
them
know.
a couple of times.
Again,
It's not great.
You and Donald Trump and my mom, like 30 years ago, used to dig them, but I don't know anybody who eats them. I'm not sure I've ever actually had one.
Let's dwell on the positive, not the negative. This sandwich, excellent.
Oh, fantastic.
But you were also remarking that, the blend of barbecue sauce and mayonnaise seems like a very Boston thing to you in that you hate Boston and you hate that combination.
Again, you're throwing out very strong words with hate, particularly when we're in a Boston establishment. It would not be my go-to.
He's from Maine. People from Maine really hate Boston.
It would not be my chosen go-to combination. It seems like a kind of an odd combination.
It is an odd couple.
The sweet and the mayonnaise together, I would say, just as flavor profiles don't work for me in general. If I'm going to combine something with mayonnaise and make it an aioli, I want something closer to spicier than sweet.
Well, people in Boston, they love anything that's white, and mayonnaise is white.
That's true. It does embrace a Boston tradition in that sense.
Yes. All right, and I'm going to take a bite of this eventually, but I realized, I just had some pizza. I was kind of hungry, and I don't know why, because I just had a full late breakfast with my daughter this morning. We went to a place that Lubie had been to before with his wife, Shirley, and didn't necessarily love it. I went for the first time and really liked it. It's called Cafe Bastille.
Okay.
It is downtown Fort Lauderdale, kind of right around the corner from where Broward Boulevard and Federal is, but it's on this little side street.
What was the line situation on a Thursday?
There was none. It was overlooking a canal.
Good for you.
And then there was a couple of people just waiting to get seated by the hostess, but there was plenty of open tables, both inside and outside. And we decided to eat inside.
That already changed your experience from between Shirley and me. And again, I've waited long times at places and still had a good experience. But after waiting a long time, it better be almost flawless for me to be glowing about a place after I waited well over an hour for brunch.
So that's the thing. On weekend, would I wait an hour for brunch there? No, we don't have a long waiting culture. For San Francisco and New York and even New Orleans has cultures where, hey, if you go to a place and there's a 45-minute wait, you find a bar down the street, you put your name on a list, and then you go. Here, people want everything instant gratification. They want to do bumps of caviar and snort it up their noses.
The problem is with Bastille, and again, that's why we had two totally different experiences. It's in this weird corner where there's nothing next to it.
Yeah, it's surrounded by high-rise apartment buildings and overlooking a green canal. It's like a canal that I guess has runoff, but it goes into a tributary of the New River, but it doesn't have water flow.
You can't go to another bar, and their inside was jammed. There's nowhere to sit before you're seated, and then they have a coffee lady. But the line was 20 minutes for the coffee.
That didn't happen. No, we sat.
That's what I'm saying. It started rough when we went.
First of all, my daughter was asking, why is the water green? And I explained, because it's the middle of summer and it's not like a free-flowing body of water. So algae blooms are starting now. But we sat inside. Waitress was great. She said, can I get you a drink order? And they have all these fancy lattes and stuff like that.
And they're actually really good.
They have a bakery counter that have absolutely fantastic looking croissants. And I don't know if you're a croissant guy.
Everybody's a croissant.
They have pain de chocolat. They had Nutella croissants. They had the almond croissant. They had the pistachio round.
There you go.
They called it a New York pistachio croissant. I didn't realize New York had its own style, but it's like a pinwheel.
Did they have any cronuts?
No cronuts, but they had on the menu they listed a beignets with Nutella, but they were out of the beignets today. They weren't making them, but we got what's called French toast bites, which are like little cubes of French toast that they fry, so it's like crunchy French toast bits with some berries on the plate. But we added a Nutella supplement, and it was real whipped cream, like a little, side ramekins of whipped cream and Nutella, and the whipped cream was creme fraiche, whipped up, not that stuff out of a canister. And it was really good. It was and I had two of them, and then we split what's a croissant sandwich, a breakfast sandwich on a croissant, which had some cheesy, cheddar scrambled eggs, some arugula. I forgot if there was any, I don't think we got bacon on it, but it also had a spicy mayo on it. It was really good. Now, the price might shock a little people.
It's expensive as hell, that place. That's my problem.
What is
as opposed to the cheap French restaurants you find?
Well, it's a breakfast brunch joint.
But
and
it's all brunch.
So why, Laurent, if you ever want to bring the Sage back, I promise I will be there.
Yeah, the Sage was fantastic.
And you know who worked at Sage as a chef?
I know, Joey.
Joey from Cafe Seville was back at the house at that point. Now it's front of the house at Cafe Seville. But all right, so it's not a French restaurant. It's a French kind of bakery,
Yeah.
but breakfast and lunch joint. And it's nice to find a place that serves brunch all day long,
Yeah,
all
that's cool.
week long.
That's cool.
And they have
Yes, if you get brunch on a Thursday, that's
That's cool.
very
they have
Parisian.
alcohol. They have, good coffee drinks, but it's frou-frou stuff and it's pricey.
Yep.
So I don't know what your cutoff is. And so here's the thing. Things that will set off the let's eat crowd, they have an automatic gratuity of
Everything.
20%.
Yeah, everything, even with 2 people.
Autograt 20%.
And they don't tell you about it either. Like
No, they tell.
they told
well,
you.
you know what? I read the
they didn't tell us.
I'm a person that I said to them, oh, it already includes the 20% gratuity, and she said yes. She didn't
they're not gonna
mention
lie,
it,
but they don't tell
but there is a clue because when they hand you the thing to pay the bill, when it asks for your gratuity, instead of saying 15, 20, 25%, it said extra tip, like 2%, 3%, 5%, 7%. So when you see
that would be a pretty big.
it's
clue.
kind of a tip off that
Yeah.
service is already included. Some people say, oh, well, once they're imposing the 20%, I'm done. I'm not giving them another dime.
I usually do.
You do that or not?
Depends how good the service was.
Service
and how
was
good the meal
excellent.
was and what the price was. Yeah, I mean, look, I'd probably, if the service was excellent and it was an occasion, you were out with your daughter for a brunch, I might throw another 5%.
I gave another 3%. So here's the and what is your what do you think is like unreasonable for brunch for 2?
Depends where you are.
All right, so
Entirely
because that's
depends
my
on the
thing.
situation. Ask Defo when he gets back from Vegas because that'll be like $140.
Right. Let's do the Price is Right. I'm going to tell you what we had. We split the French toast bites.
Okay.
We split the croissant sandwich. So we got 2 dishes for us. She had one of
What
her.
was on the croissant sandwich again?
It's eggs, cheese, arugula, something else. I don't know if it had a meat component.
Wasn't like
oh,
caviar.
avocado.
No,
It had
no.
eggs, avocado.
avocado.
You just-
arugula.
You just
with
punched the
avocado.
price.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the breakfast croissant, the French
The
toast
French toast.
bites
And that
with
we
a,
had,
with,
that was really good.
with a Nutella supplement.
That
That
was
was
really
$2. We saw it on the menu to get the
Yeah, that's
Nutella, an
fine.
extra $2.
We did the same thing. And it was
She
really
got
good,
her fancy pistachio latte.
which
I got
triples the coffee price.
I got a basic cappuccino. And then we also threw in 2 cook-to-go croissants. I got an almond croissant for Val to bring back home, and she got for herself a chocolate croissant for later or tomorrow.
That was the other thing
So-
they did that pissed off my wife because she's the calm one and I'm the one that wants to get frustrated and she calms me down. She asked at the beginning of the meal because they had like 2 of one of the baked goods she wanted when you could see it walking by, and she was like, "Try to go grab it now, or can you put it to the side?" Like she asked the server. I was about to just go and buy it just so we had it because it's gonna sit there before or after. It's the same difference. We're taking it home, and she's like, "No, I'll make sure to tell them, and they put it aside for you." She
Right.
said this to my wife. Okay, so we get to halfway through the meal. It's like, "Oh, can you go?"
And they
grab-"
said, we're out.
and she's like, "Oh, they're out."
I
And
think
she had forgotten that she even offered that.
I think they learned their lesson because when
So-
we mentioned at the beginning that we wanted it to get a couple of croissants to go
Yeah.
at the end of the meal. She said, let me grab them and box them for you right now.
Yeah.
She did that and put them in a box, and we had it, at our side in the booth next
Like,
to
and
us
look, we
during
didn't
the
hold
meal.
it. They were slammed. So it's not like we were like losing it over. It was just there was like a bunch of little things.
Yeah.
And by that point, I was like, really,
I
lady?
thought
Like,
the food was very good. I thought the service was very good. I was very satisfied. I would definitely go back in the middle of the week and avoid it if
I just
it's
wouldn't go on
a
the weekend.
crowded weekend. All right. And then prices right now, again, including the 20% plus the 3% tip, basically 2 coffee drinks, 2 breakfast items, and 2 croissants to go.
that place is $100 at least.
See, I would go a little lower. I would say with tip 85.
Ken wins. You went over. It ended up being 87 with the 20%. And I made it the extra 3%. So it was a little bit over $90. $90 and change. And again, we've got some goodies to bring home. We didn't finish the French toast bites. Is it steep for a brunch?
Steep.
Yes, but when you consider that a normal person wouldn't go off and be eating another lunch right afterwards, and I would be just having dinner tonight. Okay,
You wouldn't ruin your cheesesteak with a.
And what'd you do?
No.
Oh,
cheese.
no,
You know what?
me. Yeah, no, I
will
ruined my
say,
Boston beef.
honestly,
Yeah.
It's just one thing, and a topic people can maybe talk about on the site is how have your tastes changed over the years as you get age? Because I was realizing I was home around breakfast time, and I noticed I had some cornmeal, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make some Johnny cakes. I haven't made Johnny cakes
That's something I've
in
never
half of forever.
made in my life, and I've only eaten it probably like twice in my
So
life.
what's
in New
exactly a Johnny
Hampshire.
cake?
A Johnny cake is a pancake that you make with cornmeal instead of white flour.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
essentially
And
there's a little bit of cooking difference in working with cornmeal. You pour in hot water or boiling water instead of room temperature water, but basically it's a pancake with cornmeal
Nice.
instead of flour.
Okay.
And then so I made them and I prepped them up and I put a little butter and a little syrup on them. And I came to realize, like, I am not a sweet guy for breakfast anymore. For
Okay.
breakfast, I
No,
really want
I'm avoiding
savory,
the
not-
carbs now. Yeah, I mean, I'll have a bagel with lox still, but
Again,
French toast, pancakes, Johnny cakes.
after I
it's
just had the one with syrup, or I had a couple bites of one with syrup, I did
Yeah.
one with just butter.
and you just said,
And
"Eh."
just it's much better without
Well,
the
it's just the
syrup
butter.
on it.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
just I have found
That's interesting.
for breakfast, like, I just don't want sweet anymore.
Yeah.
Like
Mm.
pancakes, French
I-
toast,
I
blah blah blah.
I didn't peg you as a Johnny cake guy. It just sounds like such a
Again, I had some cornmeal sitting in the pantry, and I was like, oh, I haven't had that in half of forever. And
what
I
else?
love
What else
cornbread,
will you
so-
do with cornmeal that's just sitting
Cornbread.
right up? Cornbread.
Cornbread.
Okay. And you know me, I'm corniverse. So,
Yeah, because
but
you're-
no, and yet, you know, when you say Johnny cakes, what I think of immediately,
The Sopranos.
the
That's
Sopranos
what everybody
episode,
thinks of,
right?
yes.
Which has now become synonymous with a closeted gay.
Yes, and
Is that the guy, the big guy, yeah,
the
yeah.
big
mafiosa
fat guy. I
Yeah.
should not be
Yeah,
sitting
yeah.
here talking about it on air, but
He
I'm
went
not
up to
a
New
super-
I was the
Hampshire.
cook, so if I mean, I guess I have slept with myself several times, but I don't know about that day. I
All
can't
right.
remember.
There
But
you go.
On this occasion, let's take break number 2, and then
Yes.
I'm going to come back and eat this beautiful North Shore
It was.
beef sandwich.
I had mine. Ken had some of the meat.
Yep.
It was fantastic. It was a
And
really
we're
good
also going to
sandwich.
talk about last night's festivities, the grand opening
it was so
of
much fun.
Dear Olivia up in Parkland. But we'll come back with more on the Lunchbox after these words. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, upscale food in a down-home setting, the chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. Looking for a real New York slice? Check out Peter's Pizzeria, your neighborhood pizza shop. With 2 locations, 1166 North Federal Highway in Pompano Beach and 897 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca Raton. Slices, whole pies, specialty pizzas, heroes, rice balls, salads, pastas, and Mama's homemade desserts. It's New York flavor, Florida made. Originally from Long Island, Peter brings passion and pride to his pizzas. No matter where you're from, you'll feel right at home. Open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner with delivery and takeout. Place your order today at mypeters.com. The finest quality, warm hospitality, and world-class creativity. Those are the ingredients that make Daniel's, a Florida steakhouse, a special place. Come experience the restaurant that's Michelin Guide recommended and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved, with an impressive collection of steaks, seafood, and more, like their foie gras creme brulee. Daniel's is located at 620 South Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale, just south of the New River Tunnel, open Tuesday through Sunday for dinner. For reservations and information, go to danielssteak.com. Fresh local fish, a sophisticated setting. I'm talking about Corvina Seafood Grill. It's at 110 Plaza Real South in Boca Raton, just south of Palmetto Park Road. It's the place to go for the freshest and local seafood and fish, some of it with a Peruvian twist like their great ceviches. It's open 7 days for dinner. They also have happy hours 7 days a week. You don't want to miss it. It's a great place. CorvinaBocaRaton.com for more information and reservations. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Same great Thai food, beautiful new location. I'm talking about Eat Thai, now in Boca Raton at 6299 North Federal Highway. Thai cuisine is having a moment, and Chef Sopanut makes some of the best in South Florida. A hip and modern spot with authentic Thai street food and some innovative twists. The spicy oxtail soup, Thai bouillabaisse, shrimp ceviche, and classic noodle dishes will wow you. And they now offer full liquor and craft cocktails too. Open every day but Tuesday for lunch and dinner. Go to eatthaiflorida.com for more information. Hey, we're back at Wicked Cheesesteaks and Brian's Roast Beef. It's a combo. Ken is now eating the classic Philadelphia cheesesteak.
He got literally the classic cheesesteak.
Yes, that's the way I like my cheesesteaks.
Yeah.
Can you discuss the preparation? What is on this one?
All the way.
Meaning?
Peppers, mushrooms, onions, cheese whiz.
Cheese whiz. You're a
Yes.
whiz guy and
I'm
not a
whiz guy.
provolone
That's the
guy.
I'm a whiz guy.
You're
Yeah.
not a copper American white
No,
guy.
I'm a whiz guy.
Figures you're a whiz guy, Mr. Johnny Cakes.
Actually, I was shocked he liked the whiz because whiz is very
think it's-
off the bean path. Ken's usually very
You know, I have
strong in his
opinions.
taste.
Why would a guy
like
who
the
has
whiz.
actual like food knowledge and taste like cheese whiz on a cheesesteak?
Again, for the same reason there's like 50-year-olds that go and get a McFlurry.
The same reason that
Because
people
it's
put
evocative
mayo
of
and
childhood
barbecue.
memories
Memories.
that
Right.
you
Okay.
associate with a certain kind. And, why do X people put disgusting stuff on their pizza? Because they most likely
Because
because
they
their
can.
family grew up eating it, and that's
Right.
like I
Why
know
do
a guy and it was otherwise a good human being who loved Hawaiian pizza. I personally
Yeah.
would do violence to people.
Or people who put ketchup on their hot dogs or eggs,
Yes,
scrambled
again,
eggs.
there's a lot of people who put wrong things on their food.
Food is subjective.
Ketchup on a hot dog is another one that drives me in. Look,
There
you
is
know,
no wrong.
your
There's
co-host, you should have seen what your co-host used to put on all sorts of foods
100%.
when I first met
Mayo's
him.
aware that I will put ketchup on things that
He's
do
grown up
not
a lot.
belong.
Lubie
Let me-
once put a ketchup on one of my steaks, and I had to hit him.
So let me ask you this.
I didn't invite him
It was
back to my.
deserved.
I
Yeah, it was
didn't invite him back to my house for like 3 years after that.
There's
definitely
been
deserved.
an evolution of cheesesteaks. This one is served on what's known as kind of the classic, Amoroso roll, soft, white, kind of similar in the veins to the hoagies that you get at La Spada. They're soft, and I say crushable. They make perfect sense because
With
you don't want to
meat.
be fighting it with a very crusty roll where all the meat would
pours
be
out.
Pours
toppling
out
out.
all over yourself.
But now there's been this trend, and apparently even in Philadelphia itself, where there's a new wave of cheesesteak shops, and there's a new wave of shops down here. One in Miami that's getting a lot of buzz. One that was in a food truck that's based out of Deerfield now. They serve it on these hard, the sesame seeded
crusty rolls,
rolls, the
yeah.
crusty rolls.
Not
Have
the
you
way I
tried
want
it?
I have not. And again, I like my cheesesteaks how I like my cheesecake steaks. Very classic, I guess you would say, like Geno's or Pat's, Philadelphia style. Like them all the way.
Yep.
With
No, and I'm with you on this because look,
or again,
Deep-
childhood memories.
very
A
important.
very minor chain, but when I was like a teenager into high school, John Smith Subs used to do cheesesteaks exactly that way.
Is that in Palm Beach, West Palm?
It was all over.
There's one. Now I
Broward
think
and
it's
Palm
just
Beach.
one
I think
now,
if
yeah.
there's any left,
There's one left in
probably
West
in
Palm Beach.
Orlando.
One in West Palm Beach. I see people occasionally post about it on the Let's Eat.
I was
group, but-
actually doing that, thinking about making a trivia question out of man. The fast food franchises that exist in Orlando that don't exist anywhere else in Florida. It's just mind blowing.
That is okay. That is a.
And I was
topic for
doing it at like
discussion
2
one day.
o'clock in the morning, so I was like, should I go to Orlando to get some White Castle right now?
No,
They
it's
really
not
It's
have
only a
White Castle?
6-hour
I've
turnover.
never
It's not
seen, they have
worth
White
it.
They
Castle.
have real
It's-
White
I've never
Castle.
seen White
There's
Castle.
one-
Better
I
to
think
just-
there's one.
That's
just-
interesting.
Just better to hop on a JetBlue
Yeah,
flight
go
up
somewhere
to
fun. Go to
New
NY or
York,
something.
and there's plenty of White
in the city.
Castles there. No, but getting back, ordinarily I prefer, especially when we're talking about like a Italian cold cut sub or some other things, the crusty roll that you find at
I know you
V&S
do.
subs, and you know, the seeded hard roll, where when you get a well constructed sandwich and nothing, it's not like loose bits that are going to be
They won't
falling out.
fall over you.
Like even you could do that for a good chicken cutlet parm and stuff.
I was
like
gonna
that.
say, like a cutlet, it works.
Yeah.
It's just weird. Like
Again, especially
that
when you got
meat-
sauce that's kind of sopping it up
Or
and
for those of
softening
us
it
who are
up.
more plebeian, if you like the public subs, which most people do, that Italian 5-grain hard roll
I
that
like
you
that.
I
serve,
hate their
which you
fried
need.
It's
Yeah,
like
you need like a
sawdust.
chainsaw to cut through it.
I get that white. And plebeian, Ken gets the word of the day. It's usually me that
Ken
comes
has
up
a
with
much
the
stronger vocabulary
10-cent word.
than at least I do.
I usually have all the words, but
Yes.
today the professor, that's why he's called the professor.
It is why he's called the
Plebeian.
professor. for
Can you
many
spell
reasons.
plebeian? please?
Plebian.
Is that it? There's no extra E in
Yes,
there?
Sure.
No, that's in the shortened version. Plebe.
We're gonna say plebe. Yeah.
There you go.
There you go,
Learn
plebe.
something new every day on the lunchbox. All right, now let's get to last night. Lubie and I had the chance after our great show at Ukiah,
Yeah, that was
and
fun.
how much
That's
fun
what
is that place?
Because we always talk to, because Ken's the guy that turned me on to eating elevated food before my wife, before Mike Mayo. That's another one, Ken, man, you may want to try.
Okay.
Yeah,
Ukiah.
you like that.
Where is this?
Because
Japanese
it's-
smokehouse down by the New
It's the
River.
end
We
of
already
downtown.
started. Yeah.
Do you know where the wharf is? That place that so
Yes.
it's
It's
literally
right
right
next
next
to
to
the
the wharf. It-
Okay.
Very short lived. Used to be a place called Matchbox,
Which doesn't fit that area.
which
at all.
didn't make it at all, and they didn't have an entrance that was visible. But now Ukiah, again, really acclaimed chef Michael Lewis, great guy, and man, what a great dry wit he had.
Yes,
he was
the guy that
very-
started Q. Ken
Q
knows Q.
down-
Ken
yeah.
knows Q.
and he opened a Ukiah again, similar kind of. They call
Oh yeah,
it
you mentioned
Japanese.
this guy. Yeah.
Well,
You know,
we
they
went
call-
again yesterday and did like a whole thing.
They call it Asian inspired
Oh, wait, is this
wood
the guy that
fire.
also likes horses?
No,
No,
that's
okay.
Raheem.
Sealy trained under him.
Raheem
Trained under
was
him.
Michael Lewis's basically
Protege, I guess.
protege underling. Now Raheem
So
is,
it's in the same chef family.
Yes.
He's in the coaching tree.
but
Yes.
yes, Michael Lewis was the originator.
He'd
Michael
be the
Lewis,
head coach.
what an
that-
acclaimed background. I mean, I realized that the guy worked at some high end place. Like he was at Zuma, which is like an international high end
This
izakaya
was
Japanese
before or
chain.
after he wrote Moneyball.
No, that's a different Michael Lewis. This Michael Lewis, born in
Nice.
Baltimore, went to the Culinary Institute of America, did some work externships at David Boulay. It was Boulay, not Daniel, but not Daniel Boulot. But in New York, he worked at Jean Georges.
John George.
He worked at Le Bernardin. He worked
Oh.
at Bouloud.
Yep.
Is he a good
no,
dude?
Boulay.
Yeah, he's
Boulay.
great.
He's a
Okay.
great dude. He was.
No, he was really
I
fun.
don't
And
know
then-
if I trust Eric Repair
Zuma. No,
proteges because
no,
they
no.
all are kind of jerks. to
No,
be
no, this
honest.
He
guy
was,
was not.
you'd like him. He was really,
and
he had a really fun
don't
way.
say a bad word about Eric Repet because Le Bernardin.
It's an
It's one of the
amazing
finest meals
restaurant,
I've
but
had.
like it's him and he spawned Bourdain, and I love Bourdain, but I'm not sure it's would have been one of those you want to meet the guys you enjoy on TV kind of thing. And,
I've met Jose Andres,
Repair,
and
this is the
Jose-
same thing. Well, Jose Andres comes off like the greatest dude. I think he wants to feed the hungry.
He is
and,
great. He is a
he's
saint.
like a humanitarian.
He's a saint among us.
Repair, on the other hand, every time he's on TV, he kind of seems like a jerk. honestly.
He's French. He
Yeah.
can't help it. All right. So we started there, and then we ended up going up to Dear Olivia,
in
which
Markland.
is the
Okay.
latest opening offering from our friends at P Hospitality, Eddie Pozzoli and his wife Christina, along with their new partner Paul Greenberg, who was one of the co-founders of American Social.
Okay.
He left American Social a few years back, and now he's teamed up with Eddie, and they got together, former site of Deja Blue, which is up all the way
It's
University
very
Drive
Parkland.
North when it turns into cow pastures
Yeah.
again, but it's in a public shopping center
Yeah. The shopping
North-
center's solid.
north of the Sawgrass, north of Holmberg.
Anytime I got to
Road.
go that far out west, I'm looking to book a plane.
I was shocked because I thought with rush hour it was going to take me at least an hour to get there from Ukiah downtown Fort Lauderdale.
If you took
yesterday.
595 to
I made
70.
it in 35 minutes.
I'm
It was
calling
great.
I'm calling up Chalks to see if they have a seaplane. Then I found out Chalks has been out of business for 20 years.
Dear Olivia had their debut yesterday, and again we were up there and we did a show when, let's say, it was in its rough
Like a month
state.
ago.
And Lubie was like, "There's no
Like,
way
there's
this is going to be
no way
open by
this is
Labor Day."
gonna
blah,
be
blah, blah.
open.
And I was
There's
like,
no
"You know, these things they come together quickly, and really looks nice. They've got it's I call it waterfront.
It's waterfront, but like
It's a pond. It's a retention
west.
pond.
Yes,
Pool or
it's-
pond.
again,
Pond is good
It's
for
in
them.
Parkland. It's not going to be
Yeah,
waterfront.
But it's
waterfront.
really nice. The deck that's overlooking this
It's waterfront the
retention
way
pond.
Tugboat Annie's in Boca used to be waterfront.
Well,
Bingo.
it was in Dania, the tugboat. Annie.
There
So
was
that used
another
to-
one in Boca. It was
the one
built
I
on a
used to
golf
go.
course, and it was on a golf
Ours was
course
on
lake.
a canal. But anyway, Dear Olivia, they had a ribbon cutting ceremony, kind of a grand opening, giving away some cocktails to some selected,
pass around,
pass around food. Very nice. And again, they know how to do an opening because they had their shit together
Yeah, it was
from the
jamming.
get-go.
It was
And then
jamming.
it was nice enough I got invited to have like sit down dinner with my friend Larry Carino, who's a great publicist who was handling the opening for Eddie and P Hospitality and Paul. And we, sampled some of the, we had the menu items. I got the burgers. They have the smash burger. They got a regular kind of steakhouse burger, a big 8-ounce burger. Both of those were great. We got some chicken tenders. They do a chicken tender platter. We had they doing some biscuits. They have all kinds. They have a shrimp and grits. So we didn't have that. We're going to be back there and doing a show there next Tuesday, Lubie and I.
I'm stoked.
And it's going to be nice because we'll try some more things. But I was very impressed with both the way everything came together, the atmosphere, and I just
sports bar. So I'm assuming lots of beer taps, lots of
Yeah,
good
so
availability.
and
And a
they're
lot of
not
TVs
branding it
too.
as a sports bar, but however, there's TVs all over the
Yes,
place,
okay.
including in the main dining
And they-
room. So it is, I call it contemporary American family-friendly sports bar-esque, and it's
Okay.
going to be packed for football season on the weekends because that area needs that kind of thing. And I love to see, locally bred and born independent operators. And yeah, he has several restaurants now.
Again, not to rip anybody who we've spoken to, and I love a couple of their restaurants, but I have been shocked for like 3 years now that the Coconut Creek Casino has not built out a huge sports bar to go with their sports gambling during football season. I felt like that's in that area. You get
there's not
Western
a lot.
Coral Springs and Parkland.
Yeah.
That's something that's been needed.
No,
Yep.
there's some other places. Sharky's been around a while in Coral Springs, and
They have sports bars, but like this place
is a
feels
little bit
different.
more
It feels
upscale.
different.
D's Sports Bar, which is next to Daniel's Steakhouse, that is like the ultimate in terms of luxury.
Super elevated.
Our
have
friend.
have you been to Tiger's place? Tiger's up in Jupiter.
Okay, no, I haven't.
That's really
Okay.
fancy.
Well,
That's a
D's.
sports
If you
bar?
saw
Yes,
D's,
he's got a
you would.
sports
It's.
No, he's been to D's.
It's on that level. Okay. Yeah, but then we've got our friends at Shenanigans and Pat Utter. We're going to get in there later in the month.
Yeah.
I love his food, and that has
Good
also
job.
classic sports bar vibes.
There's
but with-
rooms for all levels and and price points and types of food within
Yeah.
that particular genre of restaurant.
And like any new thing, I'm sure they're going to be making some tweaks, menu items, pricing, things like that. But very promising beginning. So again, congratulations
Yeah,
to Eddie
congrats,
and
guys.
Christina and Paul. Can't wait to get up there next week and show it off to the folks here on the Lunchbox. Mazel tov. All right, let's take break number 3.
Yes.
Right? Are we up to break number
Last
3?
break of
Before
the
I
day.
do 2 things quickly, Casa D'Angelo, they're having a bunch of wine dinners coming up in the next few weeks. You want to get in on that if you love good food and good wine and great service. Casa D'Angelo is the place for you. They have 3 locations: the original Fort Lauderdale flagship at 1201 North Federal Highway, right by the Big Bend here. Then they have the Boca Raton location, our friend Chef Ricky on Palmetto Park Road. Excellent. And then the Aventura, that's the latest one. Excellent, beautiful build out. If you're ever at Gulfstream and have a great day at the races, you can celebrate at the Aventura, Casa D'Angelo.
Yeah, it's right there.
casa-d-angelo.com to make your reservations. Also, check out all the info about the wine dinners. You might want to check one of those out. They have them year-round, and the next one I think is featuring a great Chilean producer
Nice.
in the next couple of weeks. And then, of course, Tropical Acres. We love Tropical Acres because they are the home of also hospitality and value. They've been in business 76 years, since 1949. And talk about a great summertime special, the Twin Lobster Special. 2 freshly flown in New England steamed lobsters, pound and a quarter each, and a salad and a side dish, $39. You
Did
can't
they put the bib on you?
Yes,
They will.
I always
Yeah,
get
they
the
will.
bib
They will do a bib.
because
I've seen them do
me,
it.
I'm sloppy.
Mayo,
I'll
yeah.
get those splotches
I'm
of
not
butter.
against it. I'm just
No, they'll do it. No, I'm against it. I think it's ridiculous, but I've seen them do it to Michael Mayo.
I am,
They actually put it on him,
Yes.
which is
I am
ridiculous.
unashamed. To
And no, it's part of the
protect-
whole ceremony of
Yeah.
the
It's very
tiny little
Joe's.
bib on
Yes.
you.
Makes
yes.
and that's going back to childhood. It makes me feel like a kid
Hey,
again,
there
like
you
a
go.
Every
5-year-old. I want my bib,
Every time
and
they
I want
touch
my
it.
lobster, and then you get a little steak on the side, a little filet mignon, or the greatest prime rib in
Yeah, the prime
town.
rib.
Also great value. Go in there with a friend. You
Yep.
get the the twin lobster and a prime rib,
Surf and
and
turf.
get each one lobster and half of the prime rib.
Remember
Surf
I
and
could do
There you
turf.
go. Surf
And if
turf
you go on a
action.
Monday, Tuesday night for the half price wine night, you could get all those things for like $100.
Oh
Which is
yeah,
incredible.
for sure.
It's an incredible value. We love Tropical Acres, 2500 Griffin Road. Give them a call today if you want to make a reservation. They do things the old-fashioned way there. 954-989-2500 for your reservations. Call them today. Go this weekend and enjoy. All right, let's take the third break and we'll wrap up. And I'll finally take a bite of this North
are you
Shore
eating
of
this
Boston.
thing?
I'm saving myself.
There
I
you
ate
go.
too much pizza
After French bagel,
And French
French
toast
toast,
bites.
and croissant. And
breakfast sandwich.
Here at Wicked
The
Cheese.
Ozempic is working today. When people ask me about the best restaurants in South Florida, Casa D'Angelo is always at the top of my list. First-class dining, top-flight service, elegant atmosphere, and chef-founder Angelo Ilia is legendary. The flagship in Fort Lauderdale has been serving the finest Italian cuisine since 1997, with other locations in Boca Raton and Aventura. As Angelo himself says, they have an unwavering commitment to unparalleled quality with meticulous attention to details. It's so good, with house-made pastas, pristine seafood, unique meats like elk chops and bison, and seasonal specialties including fragrant fresh truffles from Italy. All locations open 7 days for dinner. Reservations recommended. For a special occasion or any occasion, Casa D'Angelo. Tell them Mike Mayo sent you. Hey, it's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk and Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for a Sunday brunch, and Taco Tuesdays, including their new burrilla tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. Kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo, the Lunchbox, sent you. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. We're wrapping up from Wicked Cheesesteaks, also known as Brian's Boston Beef now. Tomorrow we're going to be at Gulfstream. Sorry, Ken. We're going to have Arlene Borenstein
You can
rejoining
come
us.
if you
Oh,
want
you
to
can
come.
come. We
I don't
got
know
Because
who
Joby's
that
not
is.
gonna
we
be
got
there.
we got room for 4, but Arlene is a former NBC6 food and features reporter.
Nice.
She worked at the Sun Sentinel for a stretch after I left, and but now she works for the city of Hollywood and in their communications.
She was a big hit
department.
to our audience a couple
Okay.
weeks ago.
Uh,
She's a lovely lady.
She's vivacious, and yeah,
I assume we're not doing a show tomorrow, by the way.
what's
No
in the
morning, there's
morning.
no
You
morning.
guys
You're
are
off.
done in
You're
the
off.
morning.
You're
We
off.
are
So I
going to
have to
be.
think up a big
no
word.
big word for
We are
you
going to be at
tomorrow.
10 Palms from 1 to 2. You are welcome to join us
Yeah,
because
'cause Joby's not even joining us.
it's usually 4 people at
Yep.
Gulfstream, and
Yep.
I think Joe Beja is away this week.
He is for the next 2 weeks. He
Oh, yeah,
wanted
he's
us
away.
to
Oh, yeah, you weren't
pass that
there.
along.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, okay. So in that case, yeah, definitely we'll
I
have
forgot
Ken
that.
sit
Yeah,
in,
Joby's not
and
there.
we'll also talk about their upcoming events. They're going to be doing their Cuban Havana
That one
Nights
was
Yeah.
Festival.
fire. That was fire.
That
And
is
then the
on
next month,
This
Bourbon
one
and
is
Barbecue.
Ken's
Bourbon and
favorite,
Barbecue.
yeah.
So we'll talk more about that tomorrow.
my
And
favorite, everybody's favorite.
also, quick reminder, Dine Out
It's in my top
Lauderdale
3 for
is
sure.
ongoing
Yes.
again now through September 30th. 140 restaurants around Broward County are taking part. Multi-course dinners. Go online, dineoutlauderdale.com. And we also have to talk about Miami Spices ongoing because I'm going to be seeing Danny Surfer tonight. We got one of our poker games going. And guess what he requested for me to bring to the game.
Oh, he's like in love with wands.
Wands, they're having a
Oh, I was gonna
bromance.
say,
Alex and him.
croissants.
I've been
No, he
tasked
loves
with
wands.
bringing lots of fried
And it's good.
rice
We like
and the Szechuan chicken and a special subgum wonton
Is it like
soup.
the default fried rice? Do they pour it into a big Kentucky
See,
Fried
they,
Chicken
no,
bucket?
they do
and-
fried rice very minimalist.
joking.
Yeah,
No,
I
no,
know
but-
that you're
didn't think you
joking.
were
Oh, it's
that
not the big
$8
KFC
default
bucket. I did
KFC.
request because it's 10 of us. I said, do you do catering size of because we want a lot of the ribs because the ribs
Yeah,
are
the ribs
great
are
and the
great.
wings.
The
So
wings are really
he's
good.
going to put them in those kind of catering pans and a
Okay.
bunch of ribs and a bunch of
Now
wings.
this is a home game, right? You don't play like at Pompano. or
This is a
somewhere.
home game,
Okay.
yes, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully, there will be money won.
More lucrative.
You'll know more tomorrow if I come in beaming and talking about how much I won, and if not, then if I don't mention anything, then you'll know the result. All right, let's go out with a big bite. This is the
You're gonna have
North
to unhinge
Shore.
your jaw like a python.
Oh,
to
you've
get that
never
in there.
you've never
I've
watched
seen
it.
it.
Until
Okay.
tomorrow, folks, at Gulfstream Park, enjoy every roast beef sandwich.
Oh my god! Oh, you didn't get the whole thing. Though.
As
That was so
Defoe would
gross.
say, disgusting.
That was weak. You didn't get the whole thing. We'll see you tomorrow from Gulfstream Park.